Who is it?
I was expecting a machine. I figured you were out of town on vacation.
Nothing like home when you need to rest.
Right. So, what's up? You recovering from that big pile of work you had to do?
More or less. I would have called earlier, but I figured your line might be busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Every once in a while I get out of the house and make a phone call or two.
Well, if you need some peace and quiet, you can go ahead and stop by.
Yeah? Well, I wasn't sure if that would be a problem.
The boss thinks I'm on vacation, remember?
Oh, right. You need anything?
Chicken soup.
Chicken soup. Fresh from Ruby.
She knows for me, because she might poison it. Yeah.
No, that's not her style. She's more likely to kill you with her bare hands. Any pieces of you missing?
Just rearranged slightly. I bled all over the rental car before I passed out. You remember Brenda Barrett? I front-ended her. Could have easily been a cop car.
Man, that's like a random pull of the slot machine, isn't it?
Yep. She brought me here. Called Cusack, who got me a doctor. Then Nurse Brenda stuck around to see me through some long, scary nights.
How much does she know?
She'll keep her mouth shut.
What's to guarantee that?
She's involved up to her little pretty ears. Besides, she likes me.
Ain't that sweet?
Yeah. Well, what happened to Frank?
We got to the mill, and my wife showed up, said that Commissioner Donnelly was parked out in front of my house, waiting for me. He was suspicious. Frank didn't want to stay at the safe house, so I gave him the keys to the van. Haven't you heard from him?
No. If you knocked off Frank, it would make things awkward.
Meaning what? You'd be obliged to avenge his untimely demise? Why, Sonny? Have you been misleading me a little bit here? Are you tied into Frank a little tighter than you let on? If so, you probably know where the old ball and chain is right now. Where is he, Sonny?
Even if I did know where Frank was, I wouldn't tell you for purely selfish reasons. I like you.
You'd like me dead.
Frank got what he needed from you. He's probably forgotten all about you by now.
Right. And chickens have lips. Sonny, I'm just trying to even the playing field. He knows where I am.
I'm a new kid on a team. Nobody tells me things.
Yeah, well, maybe you've already been given your next assignment. Maybe Frank told you to waste me the minute you're vertical.
No.
And what would you do if he did?
That would be a problem.
Yes, it would. For both of us. So, you see, we both got a vested interest in Frank having his hands tied.
What, you got another plan?
No, I don't need a plan. What I got's an insurance policy. I just have to find out where Frank is so I can show it to him.
What kind of insurance policy?
You ever hear of, Jennifer Smith Boggs?
Yeah, Frank's daughter. You mentioned her once when we were talking in prison.
And I bet he got all excited and dewy-eyed over the thought of her, didn't he?
Something like that. Look, Luke, if you're gonna bring his daughter into this, Daddy's not gonna like it.
That's the point, Sonny.
Be careful, Luke.
I'm always careful. You forget. I'm totally at home walking with snakes.
I'll try some of that soup.
I don't usually make house calls, so this better be good.
Of Could be.
Look, if you want privacy, we can always talk in the back, or we can stay right here.
I got nothing to hide. So, you got any idea where old Frank is holed up?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Rhetorical. If I knew, why would I ask?
Oh, you might be thinking of dropping a dime on Frank. Just not sure how much it's worth.
It ain't worth a dime.
Can't help you, Luke.
Can't or won't?
You know, it's funny. Now, the last time we discussed this subject, you could have cared less about Frank. Why this sudden renewed interest?
Well, after pondering the situation, I decided that it was better to know what direction the bullets are going to fly from.
Ah, I see. You know, it's funny. I'm getting so suspicious lately. I guess it comes with the job. You know, somebody gives me a very plausible answer, and I get skeptical.
Must be the job, Sean. I'm telling the truth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the story about the 4 blind men and the elephant? Now, each one of them took hold of a different part of the elephant. Each one of them came up with a different version of the truth.
Yeah, the only part I remember is the trunk was very like a snake. What's your version?
My version is that you're planning to use any information I have, if I had any, to give you, to go after Frank yourself.
Why? I heard you were on that job.
That's right, I am, and I'll tell you something. Police commissioners have this terrible aversion to vigilante justice.
What about self-defense?
What about self-defense? Now, I have offered to help you protect your family, and to protect you, and to protect you from yourself. But in any case, there's another part of this elephant that should be considered.
What's that, the part that's like a rope around my neck?
You do know the story, don't you? Now, circumstances could have forced you to go back to work for Frank. And he sent you to find out how much I know.